doing more global content about data and stats around the US housing market that isn't just your hyper local stuff, that's going to actually get you suggested a little bit more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Walkthrough Podcast presented by BAM, your go-to marketing and branding podcast. My name is Dan O'Neill, team leader in New York and Florida, and here on the show, we give you banger after banger ideas and tactics you can use immediately in your business. Eric, another day, another big announcement, another big birthday. But before we do that, today, joining me as always, we have my co-host, Mr. Eric the Broke Agent Simon. We have returning guest and fan favorite, Miss Marie Lee from Tennessee. And we have the beauty, Mr. Luke Acree, the authority on leadership, a lead generation specialist, referral expert who passionately believes that businesses run on their relationships. By teaching the principles of relationship marketing, he's helped more than 100,000 entrepreneurs and small businesses grow their companies. Today, we are talking Instagram's new update, aka another Eric bomb here, another Woj bomb, our 60-second social tips, make content ideas, and our favorite marketing of the week. But first, we have a big announcement. You may have missed us the last couple of weeks, not because we didn't miss the show, but because Eric almost ruined our entire lives. So, Eric, you want to share with the audience?
You know, Dan, I am a man of high moral character. I am a man of virtue. And when I make a mistake, I own up to it. I called Dan a couple of weeks ago and I said, we got to take the walkthrough and put it on our marketing channel.
Take it on the road.
Agent. We have a Viral Agent newsletter. We have a Viral Agent Instagram account. Let's make this algorithm all real estate marketing. We don't want to compete with the Hot Sheet and the Real Word and real estate news and marketing. So we took it off the main channel. Guess what it did, Marie?
What did it do, Eric?
It ruined my life. It decreased our views by 80, 90%. We went from getting 2,000 views, 2,500 views to 300 views overnight. And I said, you know what? I can't handle that drop. This is ridiculous. So we put it back on the main channel. So we're back. Thank you, everybody. If you missed us, that's all that happened. Of course, we stayed consistent. We haven't missed this show once since we launched BAM. Every single Thursday, no matter what, at 5 Eastern is when this launches. So welcome back. Throw us a like if you're glad to have us back. And Dan, let's get into the Woj bombs.
All right, topic number one. Let's get right into it. We have another Woj bomb from Eric, the Broke Agent Simon. Eric, would you please open up the envelope here for the from Adam Masari?
Yes, with the first pick in the NFL draft, Adam Masari has changed the Instagram algorithm yet again. Luke, I don't know if you've noticed this. Marie, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the Instagram algorithm has been absolutely awful lately. We've posted some reels that are getting 80, 90% less engagement. It feels like everything is down right now. And this always happens anytime there's kind of like a major change that's going on with Instagram. We saw now stickers are all over the place. The link is in a different place. They have that new Ask Meta AI. It seems like they're bringing real bonuses back. But then we got confirmation finally from Adam Masari, who came on with his glasses and everything to let us know exactly what's happening on Instagram. So I want to play these videos that he posted, and then we can react to them and talk about what's going on with the algorithm. Every time this guy pops up in my feed, I know it's bad news.
It's never good news. Him and my accountant are my two biggest fears. Anytime I see them or see their name, I'm done for.
It's scary.
There's some significant changes to how ranking works that you really should know about if you're a creator or an aggregator on Instagram. Now, we want to be the best platform for creators online, which means we need to do more to drive reach to creators who create original content. So one thing that we've started to do, and we're going to be doing more over time, is something that we call direct replace. So if we're going to recommend content, that is show a photo or video to someone who doesn't follow the account that created it, we're going to start now looking to see if we can find the original piece of content, if there is one. And if so, we're going to actually show that original piece of content instead of the content coming from the aggregator or the resharer. Now, we might not always be able to find that original piece of content. Maybe it was posted on another platform. But as we get better at this over time, this should affect reach more and more for creators in a positive way and for those who repost other people's content in a negative way. The other major change is changing how we treat aggregators on Instagram with regards to recommendations. So aggregators are people who go and collect other people's content and then post it without making a spin on the content or making it their own in some way, shape, or form. And what we're going to start doing is trying to avoid recommending content from aggregators across Instagram. So aggregators will still be able to reach their followers, but we're going to try to focus recommendations much less on aggregators and much more on original
get this guy off
content
my screen.
creators.
I can't watch him anymore.
The glasses, the outfit.
Yeah, he's driving me insane. Luke, what are your thoughts on this new Adam Mosseri update? I think it's good news for agents in general. It's original content here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good news, but I just have to point out, Dan, you adding the glasses on as he came on the screen and then taking them off. That's fantastic. So if you're not watching the YouTube video, you gotta go back and look at that timing and
Good touch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a necessary thing that you have to do because my feed, I mean, I don't know about you guys' feed, it's all or became it's so many reshares. It was just reshare after reshare after reshare, and that ultimately, is not what's going to keep people on Instagram. And people want to keep people on, or Instagram wants to keep you on Instagram. Why? Because they want to sell you more ads. And so I think it's going to be also a good thing overall to create engagement.
Definitely. Marie, what about you? Are you excited for this change? You post a ton of original content, so I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm a little excited about it just because if I want people to see my stuff, I feel like I have to post some trends, and I am low-key very over them, and I feel like they're overdone. So I'm excited to see how people create and innovate in the space, and I'm hoping we don't get the same old agent videos one right after another. I'm all for a little R&D when it comes to business, but I think when it comes to content creation, it'll be fun to see some original spins.
Dan, here's what I'm a little worried about.
What your business?
I'm a meme creator, right?
Mhm.
Is this going to affect me?
I feel like every update we always go through this and we just say that you're done. Like this immediately impacts you in the negative. Yeah.
At one point, I will actually be done. Hopefully, I can't be 45 years old
running
still
a
making
meme page.
Same memes. Exactly. But here's the good news. If you're posting templates, memes, whatever, as long as you're customizing it, you're going to be okay because that's still going to be seen as original content. So it's only people that are just copy pasting something or resharing other people's content or these aggregator accounts, like a highlight account, Dan, that just reposts the same ESPN highlight and provides no additional context. So anytime you're doing something like this, just provide a little bit of context and customize it. And then I think you'll be okay. But it's good news for creators in general. If you're making original content, your stuff will be suggested.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Here we go, Dan. One more here from Adam Mosseri. This one might be even more intense than the last one. This actually talks about a new algorithm update that I'm excited about, and it's kind of like TikTok. So Haley, why don't you pull up this evil person one more time again, and let's take a look at what he has
Where
to
does
say.
this guy shop? That's what I want to know.
Berkeley, if I'm honest, I don't think Instagram has been good enough by small creators out there. Now, we've got tens of millions of small creators, which is amazing. But in general, I think too much reach goes to the largest creators and not enough goes to the little guys. So one change that we're making to how ranking works is trying to do more to amplify small creators, specifically through recommendations. Now, recommendations are photos and videos you see from accounts you do not follow. This is separate from connected content from accounts you already do follow. And what we're trying to do now is give every piece of content on Instagram a chance to be recommended to people who don't follow you. So historically, if you were a comedian, let's say, and you posted a new bit as a reel, we would first show it to some of your followers. We would see how well it did, and then we may or may not show it to some people who do not follow your account yet. What we've changed and what we're trying to do more and more is to give every reel a chance by showing it to non-followers right away. Maybe people who are interested in stand up more broadly. And then if it does well, we try to expand, maybe to people who are interested in comedy more broadly. If it does well still, we'll expand even further to people who are interested in funny content more broadly. This way, we can try and help small creators reach a broad audience that might be much larger than the number of people who actually follow their account. Now, this is already in ranking, but we're trying to grow it over time. Hopefully, the effects will become more visible to you small creators out there. But let me know down below in the comments what you think and what else we can do to try to help small creators get ahead on a platform that has historically done too much for large creators and not enough.
All right. Yeah. Enough with the small creators. I'm a large creator. Why are they trying to clamp me down, Dan? This is ridiculous.
I mean, what the hell is that? First of all, the guy's the CEO of Instagram. There's not even any music in the background. It doesn't look like he even knew that he was prepared for that video. He was stuttering. It genuinely looked like he just goes on there and just spews bullshit. And then, sorry for cussing, brother. It looks like he just spews whatever he wants. And it's like, oh, that's a new update. There's no music. There's no rhyme or reason. There's not even a script. He stuttered in that 35 times.
You know why, Dan? There's no script because we're going to get into Marie Lee's Adam Mosseri tip. It's actually original content like that is not as highly edited, that's performing well. So maybe he knows exactly what he's doing. So this is good news with the algorithm here, Luke, is that instead of it being just recommended to your followers first, it's going to be like the TikTok algorithm where you post it and it kind of goes to a For You page and it samples an audience. And then you could get picked up by suggested accounts as opposed to it just going to your followers first, then seeing how your followers engage with it, then recommending it to other people. So I think this is a good update.
Yeah, I would agree. In other words, he could have just came out and said, "We're losing to TikTok because people feel they have a much better chance to go viral, which is basically like playing the lottery every day, which keeps you coming back. So we've got to compete with that and give you a chance to go viral on Instagram." It's like that's literally what they're doing. They're trying to get that same.
Yeah, he literally just should have said, "We're doing TikTok's algorithm now,
Yeah.
so it's now being recommended to people." So again, I think for agents, do more global content. We're so focused on hyper local, which is great. But if you want to get people outside of your network to actually, because this is going to be recommended to other people, doing more global content about data and stats around the US housing market that isn't just your hyper local stuff, that's going to actually get you suggested a little bit more. Or the agent to agent content, Marie, or just kind of the agent grievances, I don't know, what other global content is there that agents do?
Politics, sports,
Yeah, just
champagne.
anything that isn't just super specific about that local market will help you get recommended to people outside of your audience. So good changes here by Adam Mosseri. This could be the death of meme accounts, but you know what? That's okay. That is okay. We got
At least
now.
we're back on the main channel. If you lose your account, at least we're back on the main channel. And speaking of the main channel, make sure to throw us a comment here. Let us know what you think about these new changes. Let us know if you know where Adam Mosseri shops, because I would love to see Eric draped down in a men's H&M Express, linen SoCal vibe right there.
That would be great.
You look
That would
like
be
a
fantastic.
white
All right,
model.
let's get into some May content ideas here.
Let's do
It is the second of the month, which means on the first of the month we released our May content blogs. It is almost summer.
Mhm.
Quarter one is over. I don't know what else is going on in May. We got the NHL playoffs. We got the NBA playoffs. May 4th is Star Wars Day. Luke, big day for you, possibly.
Huge day.
Yeah, huge day. May the 4th be with you. Are you going to repost some Star Wars memes, or you could
We always
green
do.
screen? You do.
Yeah,
There we go. Exactly.
My CMO is a huge Star Wars nerd. So
There we go. It's the ultimate trend jack. Maybe you could green screen, Luke's house on Tatooine, maybe some Coruscant apartments, and talk about, how you would market these different properties. There's a quick little idea
Eric's
for you.
ticking.
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. There we go.
Mama,
Dan's
mama,
favorite holiday.
mama.
Rank your tequilas, your top 3 favorite Mexican restaurants, what to do on Cinco de Mayo, where the party's going to be Friday and Saturday. Cinco de Mayo is a Sunday, so maybe you have a Cinco de Mayo open house theme, Marie.
Oh yeah, I think
man.
I think I thought about trying that out last year, and then I was thinking maybe it might be too much of a liability, but I think it could be a lot of fun.
It is.
Okay.
It is a
tequila?
liability. I will tell you, as somebody who got in trouble, and it is notorious and objectively known that I love Spanish music and I love the culture. And I had Bad Bunny playing at a open house, one open house, and the other one I had Billy Joel. It just happened to come up on my shuffle. However, it could be seen as, why did you have it on there but not there?
Got it. Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to appropriate any cultures here, I guess, is what Dan is saying. May 12th is Mother's Day.
Oh.
So, make sure you do some content around Mother's Day. Favorite brunch spots, possibly. Say Mother's Day gift ideas. I don't really know. Anne, are we doing anything for Mother's Day? No. Okay. May 27th is Memorial Day. Tell a story about a friend or family who served, share information about local Memorial Day events, parades, ceremonies, showcase military-friendly neighborhoods, content around veterans. And of course, all month school is out, so content around that. Luke, any ideas here for May content? What do you see
you
in your
mentioned
clients doing?
the Mother's Day one. One of my favorite tips or ideas I heard was from Shannon Gillette one time, where she buys a basically pre-bought Starbucks card and sends it out to all of her mothers where they can go. And I guess it's through the app or something like that, where they can scan the QR code. So she gives them access to that. So it's a way to do a nice client touch point, a nice client gift. And actually you have a reason to do it because it's Mother's Day. So, hey, coffee on me today, all my moms in my sphere. So just a play on that. That's a tactical thing you can do. Another thing that, obviously we're known for like our magazines, right? And then a lot of content that's more lifestyle based. Don't underestimate the power of a recipe. Do not underestimate. I'm blown away every year. I wonder, do people still like these recipe cards? It's our most popular piece of content by far. It gets the most testimonials. And so if there's your favorite appetizer you do at Memorial Day, your favorite way you make, hot dogs, whatever it is, right? I don't know. How many ways are there to make hot dogs? I guess a couple of different,
There's
Glizzies.
The Glizzy
there's
guide.
you can put it on the stovetop. Like if you're in college, you can put it on the
Microwave it.
barbecue, the
You
old,
know what I
the
mean?
old
And
fashioned
don't
way.
underestimate
Boil it,
using
microwave.
putting out some recipes there on your social or sending it to people, because people do dig that, especially if you have a more mature client base, right? And so maybe people in your sphere are older or have families, stuff like that. Don't underestimate.
Love it. Marie, this is the perfect opportunity to talk about our idea. The Glizzy's Guide to Nashville. How about
Yeah.
that? The best
What?
glizzies.
What?
We could, yeah.
What
How
did you
about
say?
that?
Well,
Have
Marie,
you-
Marie dressed as a glizzy yesterday in her Instagram story.
Okay, yeah.
what?
Why does it always turn into like outfits that I'm wearing? But yeah, I did a little magic on Canva. Eric pitched this idea in the Coffee and Contracts content planning group about a glizzy guide, and so we just went full throttle. Haley Ingram has already created the template for the guide. Eric came up with this idea. We've got a little slogan, and it all really centers around me wearing this hot dog costume. So
Okay.
yeah.
Instead of doing your restaurant guide, it's a glizzy guide to these specific areas. I think it's genius. Dan, do you have any content ideas for May?
You guys hit on a lot of them. The only one I didn't have was the glizzy guide to Nashville. I could say I didn't get that one on ChatGPT, but ChatGPT. But what we are planning right now is for Memorial Day, we're planning on we asked a bunch of volunteers to help us go out and like 4 or 5 neighborhoods, go out and put out American flags. So we're all going to do it. We're going to be doing like our Geo Farm area. The whole team's going to get involved, and the community gets involved as well. So it's a really cool way of brand recognition, but more importantly, really just doing the right thing, highlighting what Memorial Day is really about. Because as much as we love glizzies and barbecues, and it's a party weekend, it is for a reason. And then the other thing too is it's like Luke said, perfect opportunity for like recipes, Popeyes, or gifts between both Mother's Day, but also Memorial Day too, because most people on Memorial Day are either on a boat or it's like a big backyard party day, the same way that like July 4th is. So by maybe doing a Popeye of bringing chips over or bringing over glizzies, whatever it may be, those are the only 2 things that I wanted to add there.
Love that.
Hey,
Luke,
one thing I would
go ahead,
also
Luke.
lean into when we talk about like authentic content is like, if Mother's Day, and this might not work for everybody, but if you have a great relationship with your mom, something like, don't be afraid to post about you and your mom. Share a picture of you and your mom, you as a kid. Rapport, if you're a student like Tony Robbins, he'll teach you that rapport is built on common things. So if you can share your story in a way they never normally get to see it, like a kid picture of Danny Deals here or something like that with his mom, it will naturally bond you to that person more. Just that know, like, and trust, because it humanizes you. So just don't be afraid to do that on your social.
That's probably the best tip, honestly. Just post
Mark
a picture of you and your mom. You don't have to. You don't have to, trend jack Mother's Day brunch spots or something. You can just upload a photo of yourself and your mom on Instagram story or whatever.
What you love
or
about
just
your
on
mom,
Instagram, and I think
the
it'll crush.
number one piece of advice she taught you.
Here are 10 things I love about my mom. You do it as like an Instagram hook.
Here are 10 things I hate about my mother.
You could green screen your own mom. You could
Oh
you
my
have a picture
gosh.
of your mom and green screen her. And then you can have a call to action, comment the word mom, and I'll send you a recipe. So that way you're getting some sort of engagement.
It'll send you the glizzy guide to Nashville too.
Oh my gosh, that's the freebie.
We charge extra for that over here. We charge extra for that on this side.
Exactly. Luke, can you talk a little bit about the magazines? Because we have a link down in the description for that too. And
Yeah,
what you do with the recipes
our
in there.
whole spin, right, is it's a touch point that you can send to your clients. But the reason why the magazine's been so successful is because it's really not about business. It's more about just lifestyle stuff. So I always tell people, look, we all want the person who's at the bottom of the funnel, right? Because they're the one who's going to buy today. But the problem is everybody's vying for that. So there's 1.5 million agents out there trying to get this lead at the bottom of the funnel. It makes it very expensive, hard to convert. But if you want to win in this business, every top producer will tell you it's a relationship-based business. Well, to win at the bottom of the funnel, you have to show up for people in the 99%. And to show up for people in the 99% means you show up on a different way than just about real estate content. It could be the things happening in Nashville. It could be recipes. It could be travel, art, food, whatever people are into. We have found with the magazine, it's your magazine. Think basically us creating your own Better Homes and Garden. So you're able to send your own Better Homes and Garden to your client database, both print and digital. And it's worked really well because it's been not about really pushing business. It's been more about relationship. And so people keep it for about 4 to 6 weeks in the home. And our average referral rate's about 31% over the course of a year. So you send it to 100 people, get about 31 referrals is what we see.
Solid. And there's a link down in the description to check out Reminder in these magazines. Marie, if you had to put a recipe in one of these magazines, what's your go-to dish here?
I'm
You
gonna
a cooker?
go. Yeah, I'm a cooker, but I'm gonna go with a good old-fashioned potato salad. I feel like everybody goes crazy for the potato
Are
salad.
you a mustard or
That's just my
mayonnaise
guess.
potato salad?
Okay,
Oh, you're
I'm
like
a
my wife,
mustard
Megan. Yeah,
girl. I'm not a mayonnaise.
and he's a mustard. He's all day vinegar, mustard. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I like the tanginess, the crunchy, it's like a little party in your mouth, but maybe that's a May content idea. Are you a mayo-based potato salad connoisseur or a mustard girl? Okay,
Yeah,
next.
That'll perform really well. Let us know in the comments if you are a mayo potato salad person or a mustard potato salad. And
There goes our Disney
Marie,
sponsorship, Eric. There goes our Disney
there it goes.
sponsorship.
Throw Marie a like for her potato salad, I guess. It's an
Okay.
arbitrary call to action right there. Just throw us a like for you. This is all
just do
good
it.
content right now.
Please.
Let us know you're happy that you're
Please.
back. Dan, should we get into some quick 60-second social tips? Because I got one that's fire.
I would
I don't
love
know
to,
about
and
you.
I would love you to kick it off, my friend.
You want me to
Because
kick it
I'll
off?
bet the bit, baby. Let's
Very
go.
simple. I've mentioned this a couple times. Less Instagram stories, the better in terms of views. The second you post 2 Instagram stories, that second one is getting destroyed with views. The other day, we were throwing a webinar, and by the other day, I mean yesterday, with Amy Stockberger. I posted the day before thinking, you know what, I'm going to get a little engagement going. I'm going to post something funny, get some DMs, and then post a link to the webinar.
Mm-hmm.
The link to the webinar got like 8,000 story views. The one before that got like 20 or something like that, and it just kept going down and down and down. Huge disaster. Yesterday, all I did was a link to the webinar explaining what it was. Blew up. So much more engagement, so many more link clicks. So if you're plugging something, whether it's the glizzy guides to Nashville or it's your favorite potato salad recipe in your Instagram story, just do one story, because the second you have a story after that one, no one's going to click on the first one because they want to see what's coming next. Less stories, the better. There we go. That's my tip. Marie, what about you? What do you got for us this week? Anything good?
We're going off the stories. I have found that using your stories to tease like a coming soon or an appointment that you're going on is probably the best way to drum up engagement. I have found that when I'm using a link, that will definitely kill engagement and nobody's seeing the content. So instead, if I'm getting ready to go on a listing appointment, I went on one this past Monday, and I gave just a little photo of what the home was going to look like, some very brief details. And then I was telling people, hey, if you are interested in more details on this property before it gets ready to hit the market, go ahead and DM me with the street name. I had several people that were raising their hands telling me, hey, I want some more information. And that's a really cool touch point to be able to give to sellers. Like, hey, we're already drumming up interest on your property before we're even ready to hit the market. So now we've got a pool of warm potential buyers who are, ready to put this on their showing, I guess, agenda whenever it does get ready to hit the market.
I love that. That's a great tip. That's a clip, Haley. Take note of that. Great work, Marie. Luke, what do you got for us? 60-second social tips here. It could be
one
more
thing
than
that I
less than that.
am seeing is working more and more is like, obviously the hook is the most important part of usually your reel or any video that you create. So one of the things that we're experimenting with and testing more is like hooks that have negative connotation. So, the example I gave on an Instagram story the other day was you could say, 3 exercises to get abs, or stop doing this one exercise to get abs. And people are way more likely to click on the one that says stop doing this because they want to know. The negative connotation makes them want to think, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong versus I have to do something to learn these three. So an idea like an Instagram that I did was like, knowledge is not power. So whoever tells you knowledge is power is not power. And then I just spin it and just go, knowledge plus execution is power. Right. And then I go into my reel. But the idea is you're crafting your hook based upon a negative connotation. So for a real estate agent, maybe it's something with rates right now. People, I think Linda Baker put out a social on her TikTok not too long ago, which said, dating the rate is a bad idea. That why are realtors pushing it? So she's going against the norm, which hooks you in. And if you look at how that reel or TikTok, performed versus some of her other recent ones, it performs higher. So negative connotations in your hook. What can you speak out against that everybody else is saying go to?
And in your emails and your YouTube titles, one of my best performing videos was 10 things agents should not do on Instagram. So much better than 10 things agents should do on Instagram, because you could still mix the value in there. Exactly. So negative connotation. Dan, you got to scare the pants off of people on your Instagram hooks. That way they will watch your videos. Dan, what about you? You got a 60-second tip for us?
Oh boy, do I. I have a few, but this will start the clock right now. And Haley, clip this. So one thing that I've been doing that has been working tremendously for me is I am simply turning on post notifications for people that I want to hear from, and also muting those that I don't want to offend by unfollowing, but that clutter my feed. So it is allowing me clarity, but also allowing me to learn from Byron Lazine, from a Luke, Marie Lee, or you, Eric, my friend. And I'm muting the people that I don't want to see. The second thing is I put out a poll simply asking people what they want more of in terms of my content, right? So do they want more behind the scenes CEO stuff? Do they want more funny videos? I put out, I think, like 6 options, and it actually gave me really good insight. And I got a ton of DMs from it. So now I can kind of understand what the demographic wants, the people that are following me, and what will keep them around. And it was super simple. And then the last thing too is, this is common knowledge, but I have truly stuck by it and I'm doing it. I'm trying to increase my price point, my average price point. In the beginning of the year, it was in my business plan. I wanted to go from, the 550 mark to maybe 700. So what I've been doing is, instead of on my story sharing the $300,000 or $400,000 listings, I've been strategically putting up the 1, 2 million, 3, and now today I'm going to go take a video of our $4 million listing. So I'm strategically only sharing the higher price point listings, and dressing for success, all of the above. So now people are kind of relating me to that higher price point, and not just, oh, Dan sells $400,000 homes or whatever that target is, and it's working. And it's that just perception and that kind of that shift. So that's been working, and it's directly correlated to this listing that I'm going to have today.
That's awesome. I love the idea of pulling your audience to see what they want more of, because that's who you're catering this content to. And I think a lot of, I want to start doing that on the Broke Agent, or on our BAM account. Do you guys want more podcast clips? Do you want more market data? Do you want more reactions? Do you want more green screens? Is it breaking news? What sort of content do these people want? And we have the ability to pull it right on our Instagram stories. That's awesome to be able to do that. Great tip,
I also
Dan.
felt like that was a really smart move for you, Dan, because I feel like you got this start with a specific type of content, right? Like a funny type of content. And now that you are starting to transition over into this boss and CEO mentality and position, I feel like it was so cool to see the differences. Once I voted on that, on what your poll splits were, because I was like, this isn't what people know Dan for. So I feel like while your content's starting to evolve, your audience is there along with you on the journey. It's so cool to see.
That's something too that I think is the big theme there is your followers follow you for a reason, right? And they've been with you for maybe 5 years. But somebody that followed me back in the day, or Eric, or any of you guys, right, that followed back in the day, as your content evolves, you want your followers to evolve with you, and you want them to follow you, and you want them to still feel engaged and a part of the journey, whether they know you or not. So whether you're transitioning from sales to, or funny videos to being a CEO, or even if you're just switching up content, trying different things, you want them to feel that they are they're with you, right? They're dealing with it. That's why, if you look, or you probably didn't see it 2 weeks ago because we've been on a different channel, but 2 weeks ago we had that guy that came on that was sharing how what's really working right now are the vlogs and the day in the life. Like the guy that had 9 to 5 and he's just basically pouring his coffee, but he's getting 400 million views. It's because people want to feel like they're involved in that in every step of the way. So anyway.
Yeah, your followers will be with you on your journey. Do not be afraid to make that transition. We've all made transitions with our content, right? Like the Broke Agent brand was all memes and stuff, and now it's become a media company. It took a while. Like you do have to, it's like a slow progression, right? It's not like all of a sudden out of nowhere I'm posting like finance content and I'm some like, finance guru or something. It's like you condition the audience where they see it. I think they appreciate when you try stuff that's new, because if you just keep seeing the same thing, you do get sick of it and you start to tune out of it. By the way, also the more collabs, the better. Final tip here. We're collabing with Luke's account. We're collabing with a ton of our creators. Like, the more audiences you could reach, especially with these new algorithms, the better. So I think be very liberal with your collabs. Collab with the local businesses, collab with other agents in your office, collab with your brokerage account. Just do everything you can to collab. I think before I was kind of protective over the collabs, and I thought maybe it would hurt it in the algorithm, or maybe I would get less follows or something because it was only my account that was being seen and suggested as opposed to the collaborations. I don't care about that anymore. I think it's way more important to get the content actually seen and that you'll get follows directly from that. So the more collabs, the better. Is that funny, Dan?
It is, just because of my trauma from collabing with this kid. Like within 1 second, if there's not 100,000 likes and comments, or if there's like 2,500 views in 30 seconds, all of a sudden there's bots and Eric takes it down and you destroyed his account and you're done for and he doesn't talk to you for a week. So that's
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Uncollab immediately. All right, let's get into the best things we've seen this week in marketing. Marie, I will lead it off with you because you sent something that I was actually going to send. So I'm pumped for this. Marie, why don't you share the best thing you've seen this week in real estate marketing? There we go.
Well, we love him. We know him. Good old Alex Hermosi is dropping some bombs. If you are feeling a little overwhelmed by all these Instagram updates and changes, maybe Alex Hermosi is going to be making it a lot easier for you. So the guy who pretty much created Hermosi style content, the talking head video with the quick edits and the captions, he made this big post this week about how he's completely changing his focus, his content type, as well as his edits. So he has been making all of these edits over the last few years. He is no longer going to be doing high production content. He's going to be focusing more on authentic content, stuff that is uncut. The production level is a lot less. He's also going to be focusing on one type of content. So instead of speaking very broadly about a number of different topics, he is going to be really honing into talking about business, which is really how he got started. I think this is great for agents because I think sometimes we've been given this advice on how we need to be the local expert. Like, look, I'm a real estate agent. I am not the local expert on lifestyle. That's not how I run my business. And sometimes I know I feel very pressured to do that. Or I know that sometimes agents feel this pressure of needing to have a videographer and an editor, where he's really showing us that he himself is leaning into a very unedited, uncut style. All you need is your phone. You just need an idea and you just need execution. So I feel like this should be celebrated by agents around the globe if you're going to be using social media, because it's lowering the barrier to entry and it's giving people the permission to just experiment with some really easy, concise content. So no longer needing to be the expert on all things, but just really getting to provide your voice on your one specific thing and trying out content that you are, I don't want to say just putting it together. You want to have some thought and intention there, but it's going to be a lot less edited and produced than maybe what you've seen in the past. So I think it goes in that authentic content bucket that's really become a buzzword recently.
Yep. Raw, unfiltered, flip the camera around, film yourself in your car before an inspection, before a showing. There's a reason why Leonetti does those, the storytelling. I did that recently, trying to get people to sign up for a webinar, of course. But I flipped the camera around and did it in, I told a story first and then gave the call to action. But I didn't have any captions popping up. I didn't have any insane music in the background. It wasn't highly edited. Performed terribly, actually. So, maybe Hermosi's wrong. Anyway, Luke, what are your thoughts on this? Do you like authentic content?
I love it. One of the things I love the most about that post is he just realized from all the content he was doing, it was not attracting and netting the results he wanted. And I think we get trapped into the game all the time of, I got to do this type of content to gain a following. And he goes, I think he even kind of expressed that there's this logic that if you spread a wide net, you're going to get that wide net, even if they come in through relationship content to eventually go to business. And he found that that wasn't true, that essentially what you speak to is what you're going to get and what they want more of. So it's just a good reminder to me of like, hey, if you're producing a ton of content right now that's not helping your business, then stop doing it. Like, just do the content that helps your business and that you naturally do. Because I found that with our podcast too, is like we were producing all this content that is like, oh gosh, it's not even helping us really do what we intended the podcast to do. So we cut back on the episodes, cut back on the content. So I think it's freeing. I'm glad he's saying it because it helps me.
The audit, do the content audit once every 3 months. We do this at BAM every single quarter. We look at our YouTube page, our email, our blogs, and say, what's actually converting? Or we just, Byron always says, we're not a museum of content. It's fun to put all this stuff out, but we're not creating content just for a bunch of people to be like, oh, great job. Here we go. Like, is this converting into an email list? Is it becoming YouTube subscribers? Like, is the walkthrough actually converting into subscribers? The answer was yes, until I made the massive mistake of switching it to the Viral Agent channel. Dan, what's great content that you have made and that Luke has made that I want to see more of from Dan and Luke is the whiteboard content. So Luke did a video where he's, I don't know, you have like cardboard on a whiteboard or something, and then you're, taking it off as you're talking about your points, and it keeps you very engaged. And it's like a better way of doing it than having the captions pop up. It's way more raw and authentic. And Dan, I remember you did a video like that where you were explaining rates or why, this time was a better time to buy or something on your whiteboard. And you're just so much more engaged in the video because you're going to watch the entire thing because you want to see the conclusion on the actual board.
What's very interesting about that is I did one, and I have a really good one about follow-up and how much money that we are leaving on the table in a case study, but I'm too much of a head case or basket case, and I haven't posted it because I didn't think it was good. So maybe I'll send it to you, and maybe I'll post it right now.
Yeah, let's collab on it.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
All right, Luke, what do you got for us? What's the best thing you've seen this week?
So the best thing that I've seen...
Sorry. Did you say Luke?
Sorry. Luke, you go. Biceps before hair.
Biceps and hair before.
Biceps and hair, yes. Beauty before lack of brains. I don't know. You go first.
Oh my gosh. So sorry. All right. So this one really caught my attention because it was hilarious. It's Katie Day. So if you guys aren't following Katie Day, you got to follow her. She's just a beast of an agent. But she posts this video that uses humor, a great transition, and pulls you right into looking at more of her stuff. So you can watch it and then we'll break it down. I found myself doing exactly what you're doing, it just repeating it over and over again. So two things I love there. One is it catches you right off guard, makes you, laugh and pulls you in. The music is amazing. But then when you think about it, everybody's doing property videos, right? Everybody's doing, but that's a unique way to display by taking something that is funny, catches your attention right away, gets you in. And it caught me because I follow a lot of real estate agents, of course. And, Katie, I've been following, but I haven't seen a ton of her stuff. See, that catches me, and it made me go to her profile and look at other stuff. And then when I looked at the comments, she had a ton of engaging comments on it because it pulled people in. So that's what I thought was awesome about
it. These are the hooks that you were talking about last episode, Dan, those hooks that are outside of real estate where someone gets like hit in the head or falls like that. Marie, I feel like you would Dougie back in college, or
I'll
you see
Dougie
Marie
right now?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it right now.
Couldn't you see Marie Dougieing, Dan? Like every time that song came on, you definitely know how.
Yeah.
You do know how, right?
I have it burned in my skull of Zach Love doing the Dougie at like full capacity, like full throttle at a Tom Ferry conference. He was very good at it. Yeah.
I think I saw a meme recently that was like, life was so much better when we were all hitting the Dougie. And I think that is so true. Like, life really hasn't been the same since like 2012, 2014. So let's bring back the choreographed dances, see if we can get the serotonin back up. And,
can we bring back those? Can we bring back Four Locos? Can we bring back, can I go back to college? That would be
I would love to go back to college. Take me right now. I would 100% go back right now. Crank That, Soldier Boy. Remember that in 2008? The stanky leg, exactly. Marie knows the entire dance. Soldier Boy, Bob, by the way, a pioneer in the rap game. People don't know this
How about
about
the
him.
K-Wang? K-Wang with it.
Oh,
K-Wang
I
with
know
it.
that. I do that dance all the time, and people are like, "What is that?" And I was like, "You don't know the K Wayne?" I thought maybe it was like I don't know, an
Cotton Eye
Alabama
Joe,
thing.
come on now. Cotton Eye Joe. I know that one real well. What about the old, what's the other one?
The
Hey, Macarena.
Macarena. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We got
we're
one
on
more
the
coming
same
up. Yeah, we got the
brain.
electric slide. It's electric.
Oh,
Okay.
every
And then
bar
there's-
mitzvah I ever went to. One hop, let's go. Two hop,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go. Here
This
we
is
go.
what I learned in 4th grade PE. Did anybody else have line dancing as like a?
Nope. We did not.
Okay.
Nope.
That's
No line
the
dancing.
Alabama thing?
Your
Okay.
childhood experience, Marie, as we continue on to the show, is just one of for the books. I mean,
This is
between
actually.
Lizzie's,
It's a therapy session. I think we're uncovering a lot of childhood trauma with
your
every
PE
episode.
teacher that ruined your classroom on St. Patty's Day and was making you guys do the electric slide during third period needs to be jailed if he hasn't
That
been
needs to
already.
be locked up immediately
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Mr. Smith
child
needs
abuse.
to be in prison for sure.
All right,
Next.
Dan, what's your marketer of the week? Is it the stanky leg, possibly? What is
My
it?
marketer of the week is not Soldier Boy, although he is actually a very good marketer, if we're being honest, truthfully. But mine is more recently I've been getting my associate's degree in marketing, advertising, branding, and as well as sales from University of Phoenix Online. So what has been very interesting to me is I wish I paid more attention in college, but I've been really enamored by the ads that I'm finding online and how they can be translated into real estate, as I believe that photos will come back to the Instagram feed and or just in social in general. So this caught my attention, and it's not a video, but I think this is really cool and applicable to real estate. So this is I don't even know who it is, the ad professor or whatever, who cares. This, if you're watching or if you're looking at the screen right now, it is a Tesla ad, and it says it takes 3 seconds to read this ad. That's the same time that a Model S goes from 0 to 60. I would now substitute that with a house and say that's the same time that we have sold 123 Main Street, or we will get your home sold. As you continue to scroll down here, there's a bunch of them. Now this is a Porsche advertisement. Staring is rude unless it's a 911. So now to translate that into real estate, staring is rude unless it's 123 Main Street. So now there's a couple ones about like complaints, and it's Nike. I don't like this one. I don't like the Adidas one. I do, but they're not applicable. McDonald's, love at first bite. One bite. Everyone knows the rules. Quick and easy, right? And Haley, here's another one for Instagram. This is the last one before we bring up the second thread. Instagram. It all started on Instagram. In the background is a husband and wife, and they literally have the notification right there. So subtle right there. And we have one more thread. And the principles behind this is as I'm learning, again, I'm getting my associates here, that I love this one. This is the calendar product. McDonald's, right? It's in your calendar, right? So you've earned it. That's pretty good. There's a principle behind it. Then we have this is two wallets side by side. The principle here is sell consistency. One wallet is great, and the other one is basura after a year, which means garbage in Spanish, right? So you're kind of showing the two side by side. So this could be, hey, this is your brain working with us. This is your brain working with somebody else. Continuing on. I didn't read this one, but we can go one more. The X-ray ad. This is as old as time right here. I mean, this is just present the evidence, right? Here is, Eric's brain versus my brain. Here is Eric's brain if you sold real estate with him versus if you worked with us. Clearly, the right brain is the healthier of the two if you look at that. And this is one that I'm going to emulate and copy, and then I will end this right now, is reverse psychology, right? Position yourself as dangerous. I want to look at that juicy content. You kidding me? I'm clicking on that 10 out of 10 times, and all it is just a burger. Pretty good.
I like that.
These are just, I'm trying to be unique and different and trying to find other ways of not just trend jacking or not just coming up with real ideas. I'm trying to come up with advertisements with different styles of marketing and trying to bring those into real estate because we can find inspiration all over the place. And more so specifically at the University of Phoenix Online, promo code Danny Deals for 20% off of your yearly scholarship.
Your associate's marketing degree?
Yes, sir.
Love it.
That's
I feel like that's such a great way to get good content ideas, though, is like looking at things specifically outside of your industry. More people need to do that. I feel like I get the best performing content when I have pulled an idea or applied it or adapted it from a completely different industry, a completely different creator, and then brought it to the real estate space. So good on you. I think that that's a clip about, yeah, using outside sources to gain some inspo. Next.
Exactly. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure, or if you're not watching on YouTube, make sure you head to YouTube so you can see what Danny Deals was talking about, because you could definitely implement some of these ads into your real estate business. I love the blurry one, the McDonald's one, or the click for juicy one. That's fantastic.
Dan, are you going to need an internship for your degree? Are you going to need an? Eric might.
I am.
He
Yeah,
might
I'm gonna need. I need 60 hours of community service.
Yeah. Summer internship program starts in June, Dan. So this is perfect.
Amen.
We'll
I'm
give
going
you
all
a
the way to
couple
get my
courses.
master's, baby. University of Phoenix online. I even got a
find out how
scholarship to
he
play
likes his
basketball.
coffee, though. I can see it now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That went over my head. I didn't.
As an intern, you would be bringing me coffee. Was the joke? Yeah.
Amen. I'm going to be giving you.
That's why he's at University of Phoenix, folks.
Yep, that is why. Instead of coffee, Luke's going to be making me get him C4 scoops every single day, dry, just straight down his gullet, fire it down his gullet.
Man.
That's it. No coffee. Just C4 and what is it? BCAAs. That's all Luke needs. BCAAs.
Did you guys ever take creatine in college?
I was. Yes.
I take
just
creatine now.
Yeah. Creatine was great. I mean, I picked up like 10, 15 pounds of muscles immediately. I was peeing every like 5 seconds and just chugging an enormous amount of water. And I looked bloated and insane. But that's what I wanted to look like. I wanted to look jacked for summer day pool parties. Lambda Chi Alpha. Right, Dan?
You'd be sitting upstairs. I would be dry scooping creatine with the armbands doing push-ups before I went down to the pool. It actually got so bad because I was on Accutane at the time, which apparently is like for acne.
That's a
horrible
lethal
acne.
combination.
Oh, but you have no idea.
And alcohol? Yeah.
And alcohol. The only thing you couldn't do was drink and take C4 and all these things, and that's all I was doing. So when I would get my blood test, my hands started to go white and my feet, and I was thinking that it was because I was cold, because I have Raynaud's disease, which is when you're in like a shopping center, your hands go cold. And you lose circulation. But then I went a step further because it was the middle of July at a pool party and my hands and knees and my legs are going white. That doesn't make sense. So what I found out was through all of that, I had high cholesterol. My triglycerides were high and I need to stop taking all of those things. And I almost had to go on dialysis.
We're glad you're here, Dan.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Guns. Just shop in the smaller sections. You know, the kids, just wear a small, no, I just can't.
Hey, look, just because you said that now, I'm going to go on a cycle of trend, and I'm going to come back to the next episode, and I'm going to have no neck. All right? There's going to be Danny no neck, and we can use that as the thumb.
Wow, he's gotten really, really jacked.
By the way, this is probably one of the best closing posts I've ever seen by Naples Natalie.
We're about to surprise some of my buyers that just closed today. They are under the age of 26 years old, buying their first home in Bonita Springs, and we're going to surprise them. I hired Jay. We don't know if they're going to be like happy about it, if they're gonna be like freaked out and scared that we have like paparazzi at their new house, but let's see how it goes. And style. And photographer. I love it. We can stage some photos if we have ideas.
Cheers. So yeah, when you shake, kind of down and out, not necessarily above your head. Puppy, right here, guys. Just doing a few triggers.
All right, I think we got it. The closing photos. I think that was just such a cool idea. I mean, you're crying, Marie, right? How emotional is that?
Beautiful.
Such a good idea to show closing day with your clients. You hire a paparazzi, a cameraman, you flash the closing photos. I just thought it was a really unique way to tell that story and like really capture the fun moments of real estate. Like I'm always talking about the grievances and the pain points and everything, and we're always talking about data and rates and settlements and everything, but this is what agents are here for, right? Like those actual moments where you see your clients walk in with their dogs and they're crying and they're so happy and they're in their first home. Like that's an incredible experience, and Natalie captured it in such a fun, organic way. So shout out Naples Natalie.
Amen.
There we go.
I learned a lot from this show. I'm not even this episode. I have come up with so many ideas parkour would be a really funny video idea. Actually hiring like 6 or 7 people to like come to your listing and pretend like they're paparazzi would be a really funny idea.
This was a great episode, everyone. Thank you. Follow Luke
Yeah.
Acree. Follow Reminder Media. Follow Move Me to Tennessee. Follow Danny Deals. Make sure you throw this video a like, subscribe to the channel because we're back every single Thursday, 5 Eastern. That's the walkthrough. Oh, by the way, don't forget to end the show.